Question 3. Define the term price skimming. When we talk about price skimming is a pricing strategy that allows a business or that a business use when introducing a new product to the business by setting a higher price on the product, then reducing it at a later date. So it's a new product that is about to be launched into the market. The business will set a high price on it with the aim of reducing it at a later date. Sometimes they do that to make people feel, to make the perception of people to make people think about the product, or to make people think highly of the product. When a new product comes out and the price is high, you might think it has a great quality than the ones that are existing. Do you understand?
Yes.
So new businesses, sometimes when they want to, they use the pricing strategy like that to set a high price on a new product to make people think that or feel that the product has high quality. Clear?
Yes.
B. Outline one reason why cash might be important to Artify Studio. Cash is important to Artify Studio as it could be used to pay creditors promptly. So when Artify Studio has enough cash, it will be able to pay its creditors, its suppliers. And when you're able to pay your suppliers promptly, when you're able to pay them at the right time, as at when due, it builds your relationship with them. So they will always trust you, and they will always want to sell to you even on credit. Is it clear? Question C. We have the revenue, cost of goods sold, direct labor, total cost, and gross profit. They said we should calculate to 2 decimal places the gross profit margin for Artify Studio. Gross profit margin is gross profit divided by revenue multiplied by 100. Gross profit margin is gross profit divided by revenue multiplied by 100. So here we have our gross profit to be 28,500. The gross profit is 28,500. The revenue is 90,500, then multiplied by 100. So that gives us 2,850,000 divided by 90,500. So it is 31.49. 31.49%. That is the gross profit margin. Then we'll go to question D. They said, analyze how Artify Studio could use the information in figure 1. The information in figure 1 is the gross profit we got. So with gross profit margin, it allows Artify Studio to know if it's making enough cash that can cover up for the cost. Because gross profit is the cost on sales minus your sales. So if the gross profit is increasing, your gross profit margin is increasing, it means the business is able to cover up its cost. That's the first point. And the second point I wrote, Artify can use the calculation to assess the performance of the business in terms of cost cutting, and will be able to know if there is need to change the approach if costs are still increasing. Another way Artify could use the gross profit is to know if the costs are reducing. So if your gross profit for the previous year is more than more than the gross profit of the present year, it means your cost has increases. Do you get it? If your gross profit for last year is more than the gross profit for this year, it means you have incurred more cost in terms of sales. So this allows you to know that, what do you have to do? This makes you to think about what to do next to reduce your cost going forward. So that's about gross profit margin. And is it clear?
Yes.
We go to question E, sorry. That's 3E. They say Artify Studio is looking to increase the amount of paints materials it sells. It wants to sell painting sets for children and will need additional finance for the startup cost of buying these paint sets. It is considering the following 2 options: crowdfunding and retained profit. So for crowdfunding means you are able to gather large numbers of people online to contribute small amount of money for your project. Gathering large numbers of people online to contribute small amounts of money for a project. That is what crowdfunding is. Do you get what crowdfunding is? Yes. Gathering large numbers of people to contribute small amount of money for a project. That is crowdfunding. So I wrote crowdfunding. It could be a faster way to raise finance. To raise finance there for new art sets. And as investors do not need to be given a return on their investment, but may be able to gain access to the service offered by Artify. However, Artify Studio is a small business and may not gain the kind of audience needed to raise the amount needed. So if Artify wants to use crowdfunding, it is a faster way to get a lot of money for your project. Because the money you even get, you are not paying it back to those investors. But they might tell you they might want access to your art studio. Because they have invested in your business without you giving them back the money. They might just want access to whatever you do to them, whatever services you render. They might want it for free. in return of the money they've put into the business. Do you get what I'm saying here? But the problem about crowdfunding is that Artify Studio is a small business. It might not be that popular to gain or to gather momentum, to gain a lot of audience that can contribute. So if a lot of audience cannot contribute, then it cannot fund the project through crowdfunding. The second point is retained profit. So Artify Studio might use the profit it makes from the last year and put into the business this year for the new painting. This means that Artify doesn't need to pay interest it doesn't have to pay interest. So whatever money it makes is an additional profit for the business. No interest will be paid. But the problem about retained profit is that it might not be enough to use. It might not be enough to purchase the new art paints because it retained profit. It might not be that enough. But when it is a loan, like when it is crowdfunding, it is large amount of it will give you a large number of money. When a lot of people contribute small amount of money for you, it will become large number. Do you understand? So that's the difference between retained profit and crowdfunding. And if you put, also I wrote, if Artify puts retained profit, and there's no guarantee that the business will, the new art or the new painting will sell. And if they don't sell, that means Artify is unsuccessful. That's about this. Are you with me, please?
Yes.